Football is a game of decisions, and sometimes those decisions come back to haunt you. There have been many instances of clubs selling players who then go on to have great success at other clubs. In today's video, we'll be talking about 11 footballers who made clubs regret selling them. Kevin De Bruyne was a highly rated prospect at Chelsea, but he was never given a real chance to prove himself in the first team. The skilled Belgian player was eventually transferred to Wolfsburg in 2014, fetching 17 million euros. He instantly rose to fame in the Bundesliga. In 2015, De Bruyne switched to Manchester City for a hefty sum of 55 million euros, breaking the club's records. In the Premier League, he's been a key player with remarkable success. Chelsea unfortunately faced challenges replacing him and must rue their decision to release him at such a low valuation. Chelsea didn't fully appreciate Mo Salah's talent. They sold this Egyptian player to Fiorentina in 2015 for 12 million euro. Later, he played with Roma for 2 seasons. In 2017, Liverpool bought him for 39 million. Salah is in his prime, scoring many goals. Notably, he helped the team win the Champions League in 2019 and the Premier League in 2020. Meanwhile, Chelsea struggles to find his replacement with no success. Luis Suarez, a first-rate striker at Liverpool, was also known for his controversy. This Uruguayan forward got a ban. The reason? He bit Branislav Ivanovic in 2013. In 2014, Barcelona purchased him for 75 million euros. Suarez went on to score over 50 goals in his first 2 seasons at Barcelona, and he helped the club win the La Liga title in 2015 and the Champions League in 2015. Liverpool, on the other hand, have struggled to replace him, and they have not won the Premier League since he left. Liverpool held Philippe Coutinho in high esteem, but the Brazilian midfielder failed to reach his potential at Anfield. The club finally sold the player to Barcelona in 2018 for 142 million euro, a figure that broke the record of all time. Since then, he's gone on and become one of the most influential players in the team. In Liverpool's case, their midfield has been significantly improved since Coutinho exited, now rendering them one of the top teams in the world. Looking at Romelu Lukaku though, although he is a very promising young striker at Chelsea, he never really got a proper chance to prove himself as one of the best forwards there. 4 years later, they let him go to Everton Football Club for $28 million, where he immediately became one of the best strikers in England. A year after this deal took place, Romelu moved to Manchester United for £90 million, which was also then a record fee for the club. And since that time, he is still among those players who are considered as indispensable for this team. In contrast, Chelsea has faced some difficulties trying to fill up this gap, as well as not becoming champions again from Lukaku's departure date. Once a world-class winger at Chelsea, Eden Hazard was sold to Real Madrid for a club record fee of 100 million euro in 2019. Hazard's attempt to make his mark at Real Madrid has been futile, and he hasn't managed to reproduce his earlier form while playing at Chelsea. On the other hand, Chelsea has struggled to replace him, and since he left, they have not won the Premier League title. Van Dijk was a highly rated center back at Southampton, but was eventually bought by Liverpool in 2018 for a record 75 million euro. Van Dijk has become one of the best defenders in the world since then, and helped Liverpool win the UEFA Champions League in 2019 and the English Premier League in 2020. However, Southampton have had difficulties finding their replacement. As such, they have not achieved any success on major occasions after his departure. A talented goal-scoring machine at Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland was sold to Manchester City for a reported fee of 51.2 mil in 2022. Being the best striker in the Premier League at such a young age, he netted 29 goals in his first 30 matches for his new club. Manchester City won the Premier League title in 2022 to 2023, helped by Haaland, who played an important role. On the other hand, Borussia Dortmund had problems replacing him and ended up at number 8 that season. They must be regretting now having let him go so cheaply. At Aston Villa, Jack Grealish was seen as one of those highly rated prospects who suddenly turned into a top-flight player. Subsequently, this English midfielder was bought by Manchester City at a cost of 100 million euro, which marked a breaking point to the signing records of that club. Since joining Manchester City, Grealish has not been able to make his mark on the team, and has struggled to maintain the form that he had while playing for Aston Villa. However, Aston Villa have not been able to fill the void left by him, and they are no longer title contenders since then. Fikayo Tomori was a promising young defender at Chelsea, but he was never given a real chance to prove himself in the first team. The English defender was eventually sold to AC Milan in 2021 for $25 million. Tomori has since gone on to become one of the best defenders in Serie A, and he's helped AC Milan win the Scudetto in 2022. Chelsea, on the other hand, have struggled to replace him, and they have not been able to replicate the defensive solidity that they showed when he was at the club. Alphonso Davies joined Bayern Munich for Vancouver Whitecaps in 2018 as a teenager, and he quickly became one of the most exciting young players in the Bundesliga. The Canadian winger's pace, dribbling ability, and crossing skills made him a constant threat to opposition defenses, and he helped Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga title in 2019 at the Champions League in 2020. Davies' sale would have been a major mistake for Bayern Munich, and it's clear that the club is now reaping the rewards of their patience and belief in him. He's one of the most exciting young players in the world, and he's only going to get better. These are just a few examples of players who've made their former clubs regret selling them. The transfer market is a fickle place, and even the best decisions can sometimes backfire. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.